Hey, this is Notser, and today I wanted to take a closer look at the Titan Defender. This is the default Defender tank that's offered, and it's relatively straightforward. I believe this is an M60, but it's a custom variation, and you can obviously customize it further. So, obviously, as a defender, this is the heavy tank of Project Cold War, and it operates as you would expect: slow acceleration, slow hull traverse. The gun, while being larger than some, is not the largest. It's a very average amount of damage that you can do, 440. And, the ability, the B-52, it's okay. It doesn't change the game. It merely makes the game a little bit harder for players that you're playing up against. But that's not the only thing that the Titan has to offer. So that's why we're here to talk about kind of the gameplay loop that is developed when you are able to spec into some perks and some upgrades that have some enhancements. So, high hit point pool, defender, damage output per shot, pretty decent. I'm not sure if this is the default or an upgraded. We'll go in that. Energy is the default, and the energy is to cast B-52 Bomber or the immediate smoke generator. And both of those are useful, and you will make use of them pretty much all game long, because that's really your bread and butter to change the dynamic to be in your favor. So, the Titan. The number one ability that you want to try and understand how to use and how to min-max your play would be the Iron Warden. This is that frontman trait that will automatically activate after losing 50% hit points. It will reset your repair kit, which is a heal over time / track repair. And the heal over time can be further enhanced through some perks. And what that ends up creating is a huge amount of recovery potentially in your game. Now, this is the first perk that's offered. The other ones aren't until later on. So because this is the first perk offered, it should be the default way that you approach playing this. You can, of course, spec into other perks, and I will discuss that. But this synergized playstyle that's really enabled by this stuff, the perks and the hit points, along with the Iron Warden, it allows you to have a heal over time that takes 15 seconds with its fully buffed, 15 seconds to fully heal the effect that it provides. And when it's fully buffed or upgraded, it provides a lot. I'd say like 70%, 80% of your life hit point pool average would it heal back up. So it effectively can heal back up enough hit points that you could conceivably take more damage and then reactivate Iron Warden, because I am under the impression that there is no global cap to the amount of times that this can proc in a set window. So if, for example, you say, I start at 100% and I get my health and I basically reach 60%, well then, if I am able to heal back up, I can, and the person is about to shoot me, maybe they will do 75% of my hit point pool in one shot. The chopper was a difficult beast at times, but let's say they do 70% per shot. Every single shot that they land on you allows the Iron Warden to reset. Now, the play style that develops is you take damage, you heal it, you take more damage, you heal it again, and then you need to rely on your maneuverability and your smoke ability / B-52 bomber to create a window where you can afford to heal back up. So the chopper, for example, because it's the most common enemy defender that you might run up against, the chopper is an M1A1 with a huge cannon for a gun. It has a Gauss ability that chips away at your treads and can prevent them from being repaired. So what you need to do is you need to ambush that player and you need to make use of your heal over time advantage. So as you chip away at him, he cannot heal back as much as you can because you are the healing agent. And because you're the healing agent, if you synergize and build around it, you'll actually find great success and a playstyle that develops. You can kind of be on an island defending a conquest objective or domination point. Because of the nature of this particular agent, it has a lot of health point recovery, and also because Iron Warden resets the repair kit, it also gives you that repair the track effect too. So it's a double whammy of bonus for creating this really well protected defender that can do decent amount of damage. It's really about outlasting your opponent more than it is, damaging them faster than they can damage you in some instances. So because of that, as we move through the slots, we have armor that can increase our hit point pool. We have damage, which can increase our, obviously, damage that we can do. I chose damage. I felt like damage early game is more noticeable to knock out a target versus equipping it with armor. The armor, while increasing the hit points, which is nice, you'll note that all the armor that you can equip to this agent also increases your hit points. So even if you're being shot in a different part of the tank, it is still rewarding you to take that as an option. Now, here's where I think we can excel. Base acceleration and reverse speed. Both of these are critical to making the Titan feel more mobile. It really feels sluggish at the beginning, but as you level up, you gain the ability to have, more mobility. Armor, once again, hit points, great that it adds hit points, but I went for damage and penetration power on my gun. And the other options that they have, aim speed in this slot 5. Yeah, it's focusing on aim speed, so I just went turret traverse speed. Now, that will play a role later on. Extending the bomber range, that will play a role later on. You can do damage as well, which, is kind of cool too. And then this is a lot of the agents also allow you to forego enhancing your ability. And I understand players for World of Tanks would not necessarily want to have these abilities. But if you learn how to use the abilities, you can actually become a bigger threat in this game versus something like in World of Tanks. So I think that I'm going to go with the ability because enhancing the ability is going to give me a little bit more impact because the energy is going to sit on the tank and be unused whether you like it or not. So you might as well use that resource to change the nature of the game. And then go all in on mobility. You could get armor, 400 hit points, that's great. But mobility, if you can get the defenders to be able to, more mobility. And this is interesting, the sprint acceleration. I don't know if I want it, but I just went more mobility. I just can't get enough. And this is just more defensive protection from crits. Crits obviously change the nature of the game, and I actually like how they emphasize crits in the game with the UI. It really plays up what you should go after, ammo racks, tank treads, engine, fuel, that sort of thing. For this one, I just chose to increase the hit points. There's not really, the other ones reduce the damage that your fuel tank or the engine. I haven't really seen one over the other, so I didn't want to commit to a specific buff, so I chose the hit point armor. And then the final one, you can choose between more hit points on your turret. It makes it more AoE resistant, so more about anti-ability. You could do hit points for slower turret traverse. So remember earlier I chose turret traverse as the buff that would compensate for this, and it would just improve my frontal armor. So maybe I could do more hold down against a more impressive tank. But the final option actually is the one I'm going to choose when I have enough currency. And the reason I'm going to choose it is because the arrival time on the B-52 is 2 seconds sooner. Everything else is basically worse. It costs more, it has worse range. Your energy is regenerating, and you do start with more energy, so that is nice. But the range basically makes the other ability, basically, it brings it back up to the standard range that it would have. Otherwise, it would be an immediate ability, so within your immediate tank. So what ends up happening, though, with the build that I'm going to have on this is I will be extra dangerous with my guns compared to other Titans. I will have really good mobility for the hull and the turret, so the attackers will not be able to get behind me and take advantage of their advantage, which is their mobility, by bringing this defender's mobility up to maybe the equivalent or just below what they started at before, obviously, all the nice things they get. It gives me a little bit more frontal defense because I can always have the placement just right. And also, the mobility helps the heal. So you can either use it for positioning the tank in the ideal angle, or you can use it to disengage, coupled with smoke, to allow the heal to get you back up. And then it's really dangerous because no other tank that I've seen in the game can heal at the rate that the Titan can. So the Titan is a really good single defender for a base capture on Conquest. And you're going to see 2 great matches where I put that to the test. Now, consumables, I'm only using the one because it's free. Repair kit. Obviously, you want it equipped for this tank. This is literally your bread and butter, and it heals the tank. It also instantly repairs broken tracks, and there doesn't seem to be any internal cooldown that prevents us from going off more with the front, what are they, frontman? Yeah, frontman trait. Got to get used to the way that they describe the game. But the frontman trait activation doesn't seem to have a limit on how frequent it can occur, just as long as you have at least 50% of your life remaining, or more than 50% of your life, so you can obviously live to heal remaining, and that's one of the ways that you can be effective. The other ones that cost right now, but you could improve your gun reload, you could have instant fire delay, although I haven't really dealt with fires too much. Heal Shell Shack crew, or energy points, maybe instant energy, I don't know. It's not really a consideration for this specific playstyle. But the perks are definitely, this improves the amount that you're healed. This improves the stats that it provides for hit points, repair duration, and reduces the passive or the natural cooldown. So yes, you might get in a situation where you're below 30% and you need to heal, but you don't have it. It's on cooldown. Having it on a faster cooldown will allow you to obviously recover and get back into the fight quicker. And I definitely have really enjoyed it. No other passive that you can equip will directly help this Iron Warden and your repair kit synergy like the first 2. So you can almost not really worry about the third, but in order for the strategy that you're about to see employed, in order for it to be most effective, you need to have these 2 Iron Warden focus perks in order to be successful. And if you have them equipped and you watch what I'm about to do in this tank, you're going to find that she works pretty well. She's not as sluggish and boring as the Titan may appear at the initial rank 1. I can see why the chopper is so sexy. However, there's just something really enjoyable and satisfying about a defender tank with so much healing potential. It can really be a difficult tank to deal with for opponents, and I just like it. So we'll see how long it lasts like this, but everything that I said right here is completely relevant to the 2 replays you're about to see. All right, so we're in Conquest. This is the Battlefield-like 5 base capture mode, and it's 10 versus 10, unlimited respawn. And I actually really enjoyed this match because of the situation that we get into. So as we're heading out, remember, this is synergizing with Repair Kit and Iron Warden. Both of those are trying to activate the repair kit, and heal over time. So, the best way for the Titan is to attempt to try and damage an enemy, have a hit point advantage, or if you went into it with a disadvantage, have enough time to strategically disengage so you can activate the heal and then come back and finish them off. And it actually ends up being quite hilarious how much you can recover your health in a short amount of time. So, got our easy base capture, and as I'm headed over towards C Point on this map, I don't know the map, but I love C Point on this map. It has elevation advantage, and because of the boosting, you can get over the weird, awkward, steep plateaus, and first shot, we get a nice ammo rack damage. Obviously, we don't have a high damaging gun, but we can target them, and we get a ram kill. Obviously, my mobility helped the ram kill, and I think it was level 9, same build that you saw. I still wasn't spec'ing the 10th point, so the ram was definitely satisfying, and we have good mobility to move in. I use the 52, we activate, and we're able to burn him out. We get a little bit of damage on his muzzle, and we capture the base. So we're going to take up a defensive position over here and assist. Obviously, we're going for ammo racks, fuel engine, and that's mid-tank. I don't know if it's the same on every tank or every tank's different. I just know that generally the rear turret or mid-tank is a good ammo location. His friendly rams him, maybe to attempt to defend him, but it's not going to work. From this distance, our armor is very stout, and he can fire at us all day. It doesn't matter. We get, unfortunately, a ricochet, but he does show the side of his tank, and we get an ammo rack. Go for the turret. The turret has a lot of potential damage, and they're capturing C Point behind us. And we'll be able to try and get him once again, side of the tank. Now, you see that sort of holographic armor. Ooh, nice, another ammo rack. But you see how it tells you where the armor is, wherever you're targeting, and whether you can penetrate it or not. I think it considers all of the personal buffs. The build that I have, it has, and that's the decoy. I think you should still destroy the decoy. I'm mixed on what I should do, because if you leave the decoy up, it's free spotting information if he's leaving the area. And if you leave the decoy up, people will mistake it and will shoot at it. It almost seems like it's better to just kill it quickly, because it only takes 2 shots. So in something like the Titan, you have a pretty fast reload. Something like that. Now, that's the heal over time. Obviously, I want to disengage and re-engage when I'm back at full life. You'll also note, I don't know if this is the default version. I don't remember if the Titan had this, or if it was from one of the equipment or upgrades that I installed. But I have a kind of a Gears of War improved reload effect. If I click a reload button and I click it again in a specific area of a bar, it will reduce the reload left on the gun, and it'll come up quicker. So this is very reminiscent of Gears of War and like the Lancer, and I really found that very satisfying in Gears of War. So I really like that they have this. I'm not... Ooh, that was a nice one on the fuel. We're trying to track him or slow him down, but from this distance, we're just lucky that we're hitting him. And we're taking damage from the front, but that's okay. We're still very healthy. And we get another one, this time on the engine. And yeah, if you can try and target them, get a nice bead on them, very satisfying. Plus that reload. I just don't remember this reload, and it's obviously not on the other 2 tanks that are default, the Jaeger or the attacker one. So yeah, I think it was equipment that I upgraded to, but I can't tell you which one, because I think the description isn't quite what it is in the game. Now, here's one interesting thing. We were holding on to C Point so long that this Conquest obliteration, battle royale effect occurs where it clears you out, trying to make sure that you're not always farming the perfect position. And we make use of the heal. Notice, even if we don't get the full heal, we still get a percentage of it, and the percentage is high. So it's always in our best interest to combo with smoke and combo with the disengage. And if we can disengage for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, here's a ram. Nice, nice, nice. That can be the difference between us being able to continue the fight. And this turns into a nice drawn out tank combat up this side of this hill. Obviously, we want to just keep him forward facing and go after any of his crits and ram him as much as we can. And whenever he fires, the Iron Warden will activate. I try and make use of the window where he's at an awkward position, so I'll try and drive past him or drive under the gun or drive behind him. In some of the tanks, the gun elevation can't go down and attack an opposing tank from the rear. So you got to use these traits of your opponent to your advantage to widen that heal window. But if you can do that, man, this is a really scary tank. It's got really strong presence on the map. It's really great for Conquest, I feel. Ooh, another nice crit on the ammo. He's firing at us, but that's okay. We'll activate our Iron Warden. Ooh, another damage on their fuel tank. I love the crit animation. It looks great, and we take it from the rear, unfortunately. He deactivates our Iron Warden. We activate our fuel, and our smoke, and then we're just going to drive as fast as we can. Oh, hello, enemy. Just don't mind me. I'm going to my teammates. Everyone's trying to kill us, it seems. I don't blame them. And we're just disengaging. Now, we almost got out, but look at this sneaky tank. I don't know what that tank is, but it caught onto us and got us. So yeah, I really have enjoyed this repair kit, Iron Warden, Titan, synergy. Oh, teammate pops right in front of us. Drive around him. Sorry, motorbike. And that map view is very reminiscent of Battlefield. The game mode is very reminiscent of Battlefield. The UI is very reminiscent. I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. I mean, I don't know what UI I would choose. I can understand everything clearly that it's communicating. Maybe not necessarily team-friendly kills around me, because the kill count's in the bottom right hand, and it's so not in my periphery that I'm not even looking at that way. Very close game, very fun. I like this type of game. So C point is ours. We need a third point in order to have a better chance at this. So I decide to go all the way to A point. Now, I don't know if there is an agent that exists, but I think an agent that would speed up the capture process would be really valuable in this type of game, because the cap time just takes a while. And, I mean, the time to kill is long, and this is obviously a decoy. Kill the decoy, another decoy. You don't want the decoy. It's free spotting information. It just confuses people. Just go for the decoy. But anyway, we're obviously going to make him leave his cover, and he's taken out by the teammates. But now we're neutralizing the base. Other bases are being captured at a faster rate than we are. We have 3. I'm not sure if there's a faster neutralization because there's 3 tanks, or if 1 tank would do the same. I don't know if this is good or bad. We're just stuck being behind bases, so the Conquest tick rate is just going the entire time for the opposing team, and I'm just waiting for the inevitable counterattack, and here it comes. So we open up, we activate our little Lancer Gears of War, improve repair, and we're taking lots of fire. We're just trying to focus fire. Because of the extra penetration that my build has emphasized, and of course we have it in the rear, so I try and activate my heal. I'm trying to throw him off. He's able to get a damaging shot as we try and use a screen with the capture pole, and I attempt to try and finish off the lower health target, but we're not able to get there in time, and of course we just captured A point, and now the enemy has enough to decapture it. Don't really think we have a chance to turn this back around, but it was a really great close match, honestly, on Conquest, and I think C point really exemplified what I'm talking about with the Titan. It's really good in the open. It's really good in an elevated position, it's really good in a 1 versus 2 or a 2 versus 3. You know, it has that extra health pool that people don't expect. And if you can synergize your mobility to enable it, it's really scary. Now, this is Domination. This is a little bit smaller, but it's the same idea. You're going after a base capture, and it's an unlimited spawn situation. So you've got to, you know, obviously capture the base and keep it captured. The enemy is going after that exact same base, but it's only 6 versus 6. This is the dam map. I don't know what it's called, but we're going to do this dam map. As we drive over the dam, just like the last match, I am going to attempt to have an elevated position and be fairly isolated from my team because that is a strength of the Titan. It, especially with the improved mobility, it stops being like a super heavy tank and it plays more like a heavy medium, and I like it like that, and it works well. Now we're taking fire. Where do you think this is coming from? This is coming from the Chopper's C-130 that he gets to cast whenever he wants, because that's fair. But he's going to chip away at us a little bit and force us back. Now, I did activate my heal incorrectly, and we are a little bit lower than optimal. Optimal would be 100% because the first 50%, then we can activate it again. Suboptimal, but it is in our favor that the C-130, the chopper player, decided to focus on us because we can recover. And as long as we have this position, we can help our team. So the opposing enemy tanks, sort of a mirror position to mine, they are also overlooking. And we're just trying to chip away at the ones that we can damage, while obviously staying alive. That C-130 is going off. Just trying to find the right location. And while I'm up here, I realize, oh, there's actually an enemy. So we're going to activate our B-52 because we all like the B-52s. Not jealous of the C-130. We get a little bit of damage on this guy, and he's going to retreat because obviously. Meanwhile, we're doing the Lancer improved reload effect, which I really enjoy on this tank. I'm glad I spent extra time to level it up so I could see how it plays, because it plays a lot differently versus rank 1 or level 1 version. But we do some damage. I'm made aware that the opposing enemy Titan, I think, is attempting to, and you gotta activate the sprint to get out of this stuff as quick as you can. The improved acceleration, it helps with that. It just makes the tank much more threatening to have that innate acceleration advantage that isn't built into it. You have to upgrade to it. I don't know where this guy is. I'm looking for him. My team is maintaining good capture, and I'm maintaining good presence over. And we catch sight of someone. We say sayonara. And yeah, this is a good part of the dam map where you can overlook the middle of the map. Usually, you know, Conquest or Domination, there's 1 to 3 bases down there that you can affect, and there's normally fights going on all the time. And with the current build that I got, I can actually reach out to the most, the nearest largest building there, that U-shaped building. I can actually hit on the opposite end, and we'll get a chance for that. But when I spec into the level 10, I will no longer be able to reach that far. So there are some pluses and minuses to that.
Smash their ammo rack.
Enemy gets smashed, but the enemy tanks play correctly. They move in, they are concealing their position, they're making it harder for me to affect them. I am kind of desperate here. I didn't realize I could reach out, but we can just barely reach out. We're sustaining fire, and we sustain fire from some agent that deactivates your ability to heal, so I was not confident that we wouldn't be taking out Chopper, all those other tanks. But we do activate the B-52, and we're able to knock out one of the tanks. I still want to maintain good position here because, ooh, hello there, sir. You misinterpreted the assignment. He moved and then got blocked in by his teammate. Sucks. And really unfortunate for him. But we're still taking a lot of damage up here. You know, you're not safe up here, but you just have an advantage up here, which obviously I can disengage, pop behind this rock, spend 10 or 15 seconds, all of a sudden I'm full health again. Oh no, all that time spent. Meanwhile, my teammates have an opportunity to flank as they're engaged with me, and then they can quickly eliminate targets with focus fire. One thing that I'm not making use of is the middle mouse button for pinging to indicate the target focus. Make use of middle mouse. It works like other modern shooter titles, like name the BR, but the middle mouse indicator, you can assign it to an enemy tank, and everyone on your team can see that. Once again, we attack over. Oh! Just barely not enough to get him before he gets around the building. But we have our B-52, drop it like a tot. Hopefully it burns out some of those guys. Low health target, low health target. Kind of self-sabotage there, but we do dot away one of them by sitting on our fire. We get the back. I always go for the back of the turret. Highest probability of doing crits, I find. And just like that, knock that guy out. But our team is not contesting the objective as much as I wish they would. They do capture it, and I do feel like I'm in a good position, but I do fear that the enemy is not going to be happy with me for very long, and they'll attempt to change the game. So I'm getting a little antsy here, if I'm being honest. I feel like surely I shouldn't stay here. Surely I should move to a different position. But as you can see, I have a really great view of this base and the line, the physical line where they can cross over, because obviously they draw it on this game. So we fire on the side of one enemy tank, fire on another, we get the ammo. I was trying to go for the tread ammo crit, but we don't. And obviously I'm close enough to the building, so I activate it. And again, this is with a very specific build. This is not the normal B-52. You have to enhance the range of it in order to reach over that building. Reload. I really love this Gears of War improved reload effect. We're leaving this area quickly. And oh boy, we got a big buddy. He has gone. You notice what he's got. He's got a lot of the hit point damage reduction abilities. So I am not in the best situation. So I decide the moment that I'm going to break contact, I activate the heal. It's probably the best one. And then just for the hell of it, I use my smoke as well. It just creates confusion, I find. And if he's behind me, yep, he won't be able to see my health, and then he'll be over-engaged, and then all of a sudden he sees that I have more health than him, right? So that's the cool thing, is the health pool isn't binary like it is in World of Tanks, so it's not always drawn, so it will hide, and he basically does the same thing. But it will conceal itself, so you can make use of breaking contact or smoke to very quickly change the tide of the moment as they're overcommitting, you know? So I find that it happens quite frequently with the Titan, and I actually really enjoy that. It's one of the aspects of it that is so satisfying. It's why I seem to want to keep playing it, but I recognize that he's keeping me busy. I cannot assist my team, and without my assistance, there's just not enough there. But you know what? We had a lot of fun, and hopefully you all did as well, seeing the Titan in action. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment, tell me what you think. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.